Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy Kat, and today we're back at it, but this time we have the AirPod Pro Gen 2. Now coming back, we have to start the video. Let's start off with the specs. The AirPod Pro 2s were introduced in 2022. They have up to 6 hours of listening time of a single charge. They house the Apple H2 headphone chip, improved active noise cancellation, which we are going to test later, adaptive transparency, Bluetooth 5.3 connectivity, IPX4 sweat and water resistance. Those are pretty much the basic specs, the main specs. And now today's video is going to be very different. So instead of just typically, going through each of the features and stuff, we're actually going to go test out a few practical tests outside. So for now, come with me. Okay guys, as you can see, today we're outside. Basically about to run the test now. The first one we're going to do is the distance test, and the second one we're going to do is a loudness test, and then the third call test, and then lastly the noise cancellation test. Essentially I'll explain each test before we get started, but yeah, coming up, the distance test. I'm gonna measure the distance with an app, so it might slightly be inaccurate, but I'll tell you guys once I hear the sound, the disconnecting sound. I think we're reaching like maybe 10 meters now, maybe now pushing to 15. I have to turn at this point, so I'll tell you guys. Surely, and it hasn't. Like I'm still on, connected, whatever, bro. I'm actually approaching the gate. I won't even hold you. That's crazy. That's wild. And obviously I have to measure from this point diagonally to my phone, but like that's just crazy, bro. Just disconnected, but like that's crazy distance. I won't lie to you. Moving on to the loudness test, the setup was very simple. I basically had the AirPods on and I was playing music at full volume, and I just had Lebo pretty much just take step by step away till she can't hear a single thing. And ultimately we realized outside that though the AirPods are very great at cancelling noise, because of the outside noise our ears pick up, it really muffles the sound from the AirPods, so it's not a true test. So ultimately we moved it inside where it's really quiet, and as you guys will see, she moved even further away. It did show that it was the outside noise that was muffling the sound. But yeah, essentially this is sort of, if I remember correctly, it was 4 meters, around about 4 meters away from me. She was 4 meters away from me, so it was around about the range you have if you're playing music at full volume to not be heard by the next person. Okay guys, so basically with the loudness test, I'm one to blast music, so not good for my ears. That's probably going to be the first sensor of mine to go. But essentially I wanted to just test if you want to put music on full blast, right? AirPods are great quality, so of course full blast is going to be full blast. How does it affect your environment? So basically I wanted to test if another person can hear your music if you put it on maximum. The setup for this test was also simple. Basically I just had Lebo say something and I tried my best to kind of sound out what she's saying. We realized very quickly at that because I wasn't playing any music, though it muffles the outside noise really well, I can still kind of hear her speak. So we had to switch it up and ultimately use music. And once we used music, I pretty much could not hear a single thing she was saying. In fact, I got some of the words, but I only got them because I could read what she was saying. But once you add music, you really can't hear a single thing. Yo, what's good, yo? Ran into a bit of a dilemma, but I lost some of the footage. It's mainly for the call test because I had to switch phones and whatnot. So in that whole mess, I lost that footage. But essentially with the call test, though it is audible, I won't lie, taking a call from AirPod is just bad, 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 bad. And I don't know if it's just the Gen 2s and if they improve on the quality in the Gen 3s and now the 4s, but ultimately it's very muffled. It's sort of like the mic I use. Like it's giving low quality, and obviously Apple is a very premium brand. So I'd urge you to just take your call normally. I think phone microphones are way better in terms of being audible for something that costs like 3 bands. I don't think you'd expect it to not be able to fulfill pretty much a daily like occurrence, a call, So yeah, just watch out for that. Now, I haven't tested the AirPod Pro Gen 3s, nor have I tested the new AirPod 4s, but for something that was made in 2022, I don't really see myself upgrading. Granted, these are not mine, but if I were to have them, I'd probably just get the Gen 2s. One, you save money, and two, I could argue they really, really give the newer models a tough battle. The AirPod Pro Gen 2s really, really hold up in today's day and age. I mean, the noise cancellation was extreme. Granted, you have music on, of course, which is what you'd be using it for, but the noise cancelling is extreme. You can still hear the convo, but outside noise, crazy. Now, the volume on this is something that I really, really have to talk about. Granted, as you guys saw from the test, you really don't hear that much when you're outside. When you're indoors and you're playing it at pretty much max, if you are in a room where it needs to be quiet but you're with other people, you will be heard, but it's really not that bad. But ultimately, if you were thinking of ever getting AirPods, I won't lie to you, the Gen 2s are probably the way to go, especially if you're on a budget. Ah, especially if you're on somewhat of a budget. AirPods in general are expensive, but if you're on somewhat of a budget, I personally believe you can really get away with getting the Pros, Gen 2 specifically. It uses Type C, so that's not even an issue nowadays. Most appliances use most electronics use most tech uses Type C anyway, so you'll be great on that. I truly believe the AirPod Pro Gen 2s still hold up in 2025. But anyway, guys, that's been me for today. Short video, but short and sweet. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you like the video. If I can get my hands on an iPhone 17, it'll be dope to review that for you guys. But ultimately, that's all from my side. It's been your boy Cat. Love. Man, what a long day.